Let's go. Alright, now that I have admin access, I can actually start streaming for reals. So, I'm gonna share screen. Oh, God. Well, okay, I'm gonna share screen here. So, anyways, going on this fishing trip. So, we went to this park called Canby Pond, and let's get this muted. So basically in Canby Pond, there's this thing where the newly stocked fish, they always gather in the far side. Oh, that's not the right color. Control Z. Let's go see if this. No, that's highlighter. Uh, is this work? No, that's thick. Okay, there. No appreciation for my effort. Okay. Basically, the newly stocked fish, they always gather in this area, the marshy area, on the very far side. It's kind of a mess to go to like cast there because like usually when you cast a even a heavy rooster tail, they always end up in this area, which is like right outside of the strike zone. So you end up having not very much luck here. But what I found out was that if you attach extreme amounts of split shot, you can actually make the strike zone area. So what I did was from here, the bank, there are people here, so I couldn't really cast that way. But from this area roughly, cast it forward like that using the split shot, but almost all the way to the other side of the bank, retrieve, and then that's where I got most of the hits, right in this area. So it was mostly just right when it hit the water, a few casts in, a few reels in. That's when they started hitting, not like anywhere near here. Also, this pond is really shallow, so spinners and spoons, I guess, both have the same effect. You just have to reel them in faster, otherwise they're going to be tangled in the weeds. Also, another issue for us was that wow. So I'm better than Addicted Fishing and what's that guy? Northwest Fishing Secrets. Well, that's pretty impressive, to least. Um, it's hard to land the fish when there's a bunch of weeds right here, especially when you have a near 2 pound trout on your line and you have to go through this weed. It gives you really high anxiety. So yeah. That was a very tough part. Also, I think the split shot made my line weak or something and broke it, so I lost the cast master. I'll definitely have to retreat to have to get another one soon. Anyways, seems like last time they stocked the fish, they always congregate here too. So a piece of advice I'd give for people here who are fishing for stock trout is go around the places and see where people are catching the most trout rather than what they're actually using, because a lot of the times the location actually matters more than the bait you're using. If there's no fish, there's like an absolutely no chance of a fish biting. But like if you're using a bad bait, at least there's some chance, however small, of a fish biting. So to the extremes, location does matter more than bait. So this holds true to like a bigger reservoir too. Um, Now I'm going to make another screenshot, I guess, of a different lake that we use. Also, in this place, it's also important to have a good enough leader size that's not too long and not too short. Location is not only about where in the pond you're fishing, say here as compared to here. It's also compared to where in the water column you're fishing. So say this is the top of the water, this is the shore. No, not the shore, the bottom of the pond. The weeds are like here. And you think, say like this is only 4 foot and you have 2 foot weeds, right? You think, oh, this is shallow. And then you get a really small leader. Well, wait, no, that shouldn't be 2. That doesn't make sense. Let's get this to be 1 foot. Okay. You say, well, it's short, and let's go short leader. But because in this situation there'd be more weeds, guess where your power bait's going to be? It's going to be right here. At first, no. Do not come over here.
Did you hear the kids screaming FX meme?
No. Get out.
I thought you played it.
I have a lot of tabs, yeah. That's not the point, but okay. So your power bait will be right here with your Carolina rig, right? What are the fish going to do? The fish swims here. What does it see? Nothing. 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 It just sees grass down here. Now, on the other hand, if we have that same 4 feet of water, honestly, if you had your power bait on the ceiling, I don't think it would be that effective, but I guess it would still kind of work. So yeah, not recommended. What I'd say is best to be in the middle of the water column. So play around with your leader line is also important. If you're not, well, I guess everyone left. So I'll be just streaming here with no viewer. Okay, but so it's really important to make sure that you have the right leader length to fish in where you're fishing. And ultimately, this is one of the biggest factors of determining your success or failure in fishing for stock trout. Another piece of advice I'd give you is just get lots of insiders information. For example, we have another pond nearby that's slightly bigger. It's like this shape. And there's a dock here, a dock here, a dock here. This one's the biggest dock. So generally, we have a pipe here, which is where the fish are initially stocked. If you're going fish on a Thursday or a Friday, right after stocking, usually the day of or the day after, chances are they're going to be still acclimating to the water and they're not going to be exploring very much. So as a result, people over here, no one's going to catch anything. But the one person fishing here, all the fish are like really stacked right here. So the person here is going to be catching fish after fish after fish just because of the location. And I can guarantee that because it's happened to me in this exact same pond before. Now, if we move forward a few days to say the weekend, these fish are going to disperse wherever. Here in the shallows, here in the deeper ends, and here in these sides or in the middle columns. So generally what I like to do is if it's raining, get as far as you can, cast as far as you can to the deepest areas, which for us would be this area. So get on the dock, cast here, get on this dock, cast here, get on this dock, cast here. But if it's sunny, they tend to hide out in the shallows, especially this area for us, which is the shallowest. So cast here from the bank, here from the bank. You can also retrieve stuff because they'll be likely looking for insects on those hot days too. Well, not too hot. Otherwise, they'll be lethargic, but they'll still be doing it. And generally, if it's somewhere in between, they'll generally be really dispersed everywhere. So here's a good bet. Just find where the anglers are catching the most fish. What I've also found is that in places where like the Fish and Wildlife, they've like made renovations to an area, sometimes they'll lay out a new piece of plastic or sod here. Never ever fish here. There's going to be no fish here because it like disrupts the water. It makes the cover is blocking and stuff. Just don't fish in that area, and no one's going to catch fish in that area because that's also one of those places that fish really don't like to be in. I feel like these are the main issues that determine how many fish you're gonna catch and how fast you can catch fish. Because when I first came in here and started fishing in Oregon, we barely ever caught stock trout. Like most of the times, it would be either we catch 2, 3, or 4 trout, or we just not catch any. And it seems like everyone else was able to catch a lot. But as soon as like we learned more and learned like the inside information, then we got better. Alright, so if you're still watching this, I guess we can just move back to the original stream because Sitchin has it. So I'm going to end the stream right now, and I'll send the link to our main stream over here if you're still here. Alright, see you there.